Well, here we are with a Yamaha natural sound stereo receiver model CR-640, and I want to just demonstrate that all the inputs and outputs are working. And I'm going to start with FM radio. I really want to show the antenna here, so I'm on a station that doesn't come in too well. You can see the stereo and blender blinking a little bit there. It's kind of weak reception. Here's the signal quality, but we're still getting it. Right, it's here in the back. I've got an antenna hooked up to the 300 ohm. I'm gonna unplug that, and you can see it makes a difference. Now, I don't think that antenna is really 300 ohms, but it seems to work. I'm gonna plug it into the other input. Neither this antenna nor the adapter are included with sale. And there we go. We've improved reception again. It's a difficult station. There we go, demonstrating that. Fantastic. Now I want to show a few other things about the FM stereo while we're here. Turn that down a little. One is this indicator here, the DX. That means distant. It is detecting that this is a distant station. Let me turn that back up. And it's adjusting the attenuation of the antenna, how much juice it gives it accordingly. If I try to take this off of auto and say it's a local, sure, it switches to local here, but you can see you haven't done yourself any favors. That won't be true elsewhere on the dial. The reason you'd like this to be treated as a local, well, for one thing, it might not overload the stereo, although that seems unlikely, but also it can make a difference if you have two stations in play. Maybe one's you want to hear your local and you don't want to hear some interference, but with something else that's coming in, you can choose local, and it will really not, you won't hear that distant station perhaps. So I'll try to show that. And also I want to show the effect of the muting right here. With muting off, or rather with muting on, you see even weak stations come through. With muting off, you're only going to hear the really strong local stations. And so if I go up and down the band like this, we won't pick up very many, even with the antenna plugged in, and I better do that. Excuse me. Oh my. There we go. But I will show you the difference. So let's go up to the top of the band and just show that this baby gets stations from top to bottom. Here we are. Stereo blend, it still says DX. I can't hover for long on any one station unless music isn't playing, because I don't want to get dinged for copyright violations. But you can see it's tuning nicely all the way down the dial. I want to come back to that station in a minute. WHRB from Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right next to Boston. Don't hate us. All right, so all the way down the dial, no problem. Here at 95.3, we have a nice strong station. Center that. You can see the signal quality is high, that the needles work. All right, and over here it has automatically detected that it's a local station. If I press this button, no difference. When it's on auto, it says it's a local station. And if I take off the muting, well, it's still beautiful, and that's a sort of a wider bandwidth. You're going to hear everything as good as you can hear it, and we don't mind doing it because we have no interference from nearby stations. Very nice. So let's try this on AM. I have an AM antenna connected. This has no internal AM antenna at all. Where is it? Right here. Going to this little doohickey, which is super cheap on eBay. This has no internal ferrite antenna, no external ferrite antenna. You have to provide your own antenna. That is not included, but they're inexpensive. And we'll switch it to AM, where a lot of these lights here no longer apply. And I just want to show that at all ends of the band it picks up stations.
And then what to put on, which is step 3. If I hadn't gone into politics,
your reception will vary, of course. Go into the middle of the dial. AM 1030 is a good one.
It's the Money Minute. I'm Joni Ciani with Paula Larry Welch, 93 Financial.
All right. Yeah, your results will vary on FM and AM depending on the strength of signals in your area. Pretty much the top of the band here. Very accurate calibration on the tuning indicator. On FM, it's very accurate up at the top. Down near 88, it's off by about 2 megahertz. Not a big deal. It's pretty good. I'm going to show one more thing on FM. I was going to show that with muting off, we won't pick up many stations. Some of them we would pick up if we had a better antenna. So you get the idea. There's one. There are probably about 5 that I can pick up if I try. So that really is the power of the FM muting, which I just turned off. All right, so let's hear some other things. I've got a record playing. We're ready to play. We'll drop the needle to show that the phono input works. This is a good time to talk about bass and treble and high and low filters and A and B speakers. So let's just start with balance. You probably won't be able to tell much. The balance is working, and I have both A and B speakers on. I'll show balance for B, which is these small speakers, 8 ohm resistance. No crackling, real nice. The A speakers down here, power hungry 4 ohm resistance speakers. After running this unit for hours with those speakers, I have heard them click off, which I guess you could consider a safety feature. But you know, it's an older amplifier and lower wattage, so I think that's kind of to be expected. So balance works on the A speakers and on the B speakers, and together. Oh yeah. Low pass filter, I can't really show you that. I don't have any bass that deep. High pass filter, you might hear if I put everything here to the treble, you can probably hear it. Maybe not. I have heard it at times. There's a little bit more cymbal here. Whatever. Obviously the bass and treble work. And the loudness, which is really mid-range. In a way, it's mid-range. You can consider it that way. Turning this to flat turns down the bass and the treble. So it's all about equalization, right? There we go. That's the phonograph. I have a CD queued up here. Let's play that. I'm gonna stop my phonograph. Right? CD works. And if we go over here to tape deck, I'm already playing the tape. So I have more to say about the tape deck. Hope I don't get dinged on that tape. It could happen for copyright. So the tape has, there are 2 tape input outputs here, and I only have one tape deck, so I have to fake the second one. But we're interested not only in can we hear the playback of the tape deck, but can the tape deck hear what we want it to hear. So there's a whole separate selector for what the tape deck hears, and it can be different actually than what you're hearing through the speakers. So let's do it this way. I want to show that that I can hear that tape deck 1 can hear any of these other inputs. Okay, I got myself a little confused on that, but I think I can demonstrate the tape deck playing back and also hearing everything if you wanted to record on your tape deck. So to just do playback, I've got this tape deck here. We know we can hear it. We've done this already, right? It's set to tape 1 here. Now the question is, what happens if I stop this tape deck and for this tape deck over here, start recording? What does it hear? Well, it hears whatever we select over here. Obviously, it can't hear itself, so it goes silent. This is supposedly tape deck 2, but really, it's this radio because I don't have a tape deck number 2, right? So if I turn this off, bye-bye sound. So that's simulated cassette deck 2 that it can, tape deck 1 can hear it. It can hear the tuner, FM radio. It can hear our tape deck. And it can hear the CD player over here. All right, so obviously it can't hear itself. Now I'm going to try to demonstrate tape deck 2. We want to hear tape deck 2, but I don't have a tape deck 2. Again, I said it's the radio here.
I had chosen the short stick, so I ended up at this.
We can hear that, but what can it hear? For that, I've got this external speaker here, this little Beats pill, and I'm going to leave this set here because it can't hear itself. That's sort of a mute, and I'm going to let it hear the tape deck here. Are we playing? Oh, I need to stop. So now it's going to hear the real tape deck. That's the sound of the speaker. Tuner. Record player, phone. And the CD player on aux. So I hope I've shown that. Both inputs and outputs on both tape decks work and can go to each other. That the tape deck can hear all the inputs, either tape deck, if you have 2, which I don't. Okay, is there anything I failed to show on this? Stereo mono I don't think you can hear the difference. I assume it works. The headphones, you just have to take my word for it. I've had no problem, they work. I did the filters. Oh, I think I did A and B speakers. Yeah, when I did the balance. I think we're done here, thank you.